I've just finished a call with a group of health coaches and literally blew their mind. Now, these are women that teach health, so gut health, fertility, hypnotherapy, which is what I also do, a lot of health and well-being. Yet it was as if that this part of the woman's body was separate. Like, some of them dealt with the mind, some of them dealt with the body, exercise, or the gut. But I was like, what about the womb and the pelvic floor? And it was as if it was like a separate thing, like it wasn't part of the body. And what I just shared with them literally blew their mind. Most of them said that they didn't have problems down there. One actually said that her partner said that he loves her tight pelvic floor. And that made me really think, like, we're obsessed with tight, we're obsessed with gripped. And every single woman on that call was tight, pulled in and tense, even though they are health coaches. Now, if I would have said to them, you're all too pulled in and I can tell that your pelvic floor is overworking, none of them would have agreed with that, right? Because they didn't leak. Some of them were fine having orgasms, some of them did leak, but they would have said no, until I got them to do a real simple exercise. And they realized, oh my gosh, they were basically bracing. Okay, and when they're bracing in that area, in this kind of core region, that's what causes us our problems, not only with leaking, maybe not now, but maybe in menopause, but actually with an inability to internal orgasm without needing toys. Because the female body, we actually don't want it to be like this. If you watched my last video on pelvic floor, actually I'll pop it in the featured post. We don't want to go around like this. Our pelvic floor actually, to achieve a beautiful orgasm, needs to be like this. It needs to be open, it needs to be relaxed, it needs to be soft. We actually don't want it tight and strong and switched on. So it was when I was a dancer, and then I've done a lot of exercise in my life, and then I also trained as a Pilates coach. So I had what I called a really strong pelvic floor. However, I have also had prolapse and leaking, even with this strong, tight pelvic floor. And the reason for that is because it was too strong and too tight. And I explain this as the pelvic floor needs to move. So it needs to basically be sat in this move here most of the time, although it moves with your breath. Not a lot of people know that actually moves with your breath. So it's doing this all the time, but actually wants to sit somewhere here. And most of the time with women, it's sitting here. And it's sitting here because women carry tension. When a woman comes to me with jaw, neck pain, shoulder pain, then I know that she's probably got a gripped pelvic floor as well. When she comes with back pain, I pretty much know she's probably got a gripped on pelvic floor and core as well. And it's also gripped because we also try and protect this area. We try and protect it from people touching it. Read my post on I haven't been raped, but for that we try to protect it because people go in when we're not fully ready, whether that's medical staff or partners, ex-partners. We try to protect it because it feels heavy. We're worried about it, about letting go in case our insides fall out, in case we leak. So there's a lot of protection around there, which is why we often grip. In this area here, think about it as our fourth mind, right? It really is a really interesting and amazing part of the body, which sadly has been shut down. So my Pilates was all about, everyone always says, oh, I do Pilates for my pelvic floor. Pilates actually can make a pelvic floor too switched on. And when it's too switched on, we can't relax during intimacy. And if we can't relax during intimacy, then we're not having those deep internal orgasms. Yes, we can have a clit one. Yes, we can use toys, but the deep ones, and I mean the ones where we literally feel floppy, like how many orgasms haven't come through because our core's been braced? right? Because we've been like this. Loads. Because it affects when it's braced, when it's pulled in. And we all have those cues: brace your core, hold in your core, pull in your core, lift up your pelvic floor, suck it in, you know, all those kind of cues stop the female orgasm from coming through. And since I've done more relaxing work with my pelvic floor, since I've done more nervous system work, like literally I was on the school run the other day and I went to pick up my phone and I decided, no, I was going to put my phone down, I was going to do some breath work. And I did some breath work, which I sent energy down here, and it literally was awake like this. And I had to stop doing the breath work because it was like, oh, this is too pleasurable to be on the school run in the car right now. That's how my body is now, whereas before it was like totally switched off. And what nobody's talking about is these deep cervical orgasms, and the cervical orgasm will only come through, and the squirting will only come through when we're deeply surrendered and relaxed. So we don't want to be this kind of person during it. We want to be like this floppy, soft, relaxed pelvic floor. So we don't want our partner to think our pelvic floor is all tight and pulled up. No, it needs to be relaxed for it to actually come through, these orgasms to come through. And the cervix will actually, when it's relaxed, when the body's relaxed, the cervix will actually be able to drop down. And when the cervix drops down, you can have cervical orgasms, which are amazing, and it stimulates your vagus nerve. It's one of the best ways to stimulate the vagus nerve, and no one is talking about this, right? Other than me, obviously. Often people go, oh, cervix, pain, and that's again because people have entered us too hard, too fast. We haven't said stop. We've had painful cervical smears and we haven't done the work around that. Or we can have tight muscles around there from holding it in too tight. So this is the work that I do. It's a course, Radiant Woman is a course that you will have never seen before. And there's only one me, and there's only one me doing it as I do it. So it's a lot of embodiment practices. It isn't about a partner needing a partner. It's about you reconnecting with your body and understanding your body. And at the same time, you will start to notice how much more relaxed you feel, how you can relax yourself, how you can bring in pleasure in the body through breath. Wow. If you have any questions on this, let me know. You can private DM me, we can chat, or pop it in the comments. Say, wow, I didn't know half of this stuff. That would be lovely to have in the comments. I didn't know this stuff. Thanks for watching.